Morning, everybody. I'm out here at my local range again today, shooting another jewel of a rifle, and I thought I'd just document it again for those who are interested. It's a made in Finland, Finnish Valmet, 22 long rifle. It's a match rifle, beautifully crafted. One of my most favorite rifles I've ever owned. I always wanted one and acquired this one quite recently in wonderful condition. It didn't have the original sights, but it had some nice match sights that were modified to fit, but I have a scope on it. The scope is an older Lyman target scope that's been boosted to 30 power with one of the finest reticles and target dot you'd ever see. It's almost impossible to see in a good way. Very, very fine. Like I mentioned, 30 power. It suits this rifle well because this bolt handle is quite upturned, I guess, and on a modern scope you'd interfere with the ocular bell for sure. So this one is a good combination. It has a typical target rifle rail underneath for accessories or a bipod like I'm running it. I have a Harris style bipod adapter on there right now. It has a beautifully sculptured aluminum polished trigger guard and a butt plate that's adjustable. The trigger is wonderful, at between 5 and 6 ounces is the pulls I got from it. Very consistent 2-stage with a very short first stage how I have it set. There's a beautiful loading tray and a massively built receiver, so you literally just drop the round in and it feeds. Ejection is positive and wonderful, except for it wasn't designed for a scope, so I get a lot of, when the rounds eject, they hit the scope and fall back in, which is one of the problems with running a scope on a vintage rifle like that. I'm okay with it, doesn't bother me, but it definitely happens about 50% of the time. I've played around with, throwing the bolt back a little bit more forcefully, and that does help, but I'm okay with just fishing them out. It is an extremely accurate rifle. It will easily keep up with an Anschutz 54. However, the groups are not as consistently accurate as a 54. So it'll shoot some tiny holes, just not as often. But I enjoy shooting this rifle so much that I would say that overall the whole experience is wonderful. It has a beautifully designed target stock, like I said, made out of walnut. If you bear with me here, you can have a better look at it. It is just a beautiful rifle. Checkered on the fore end, beautifully sculptured pistol grip area. No stippling or checkering down there, but just a nice piece of walnut. Have a good look at the loading tray up there. Spin it around again. Sorry for the glare, I'm doing this on my phone. This is an active firing range, so you can probably hear the noise behind me. Anyway, I'm just going to take some shots with it for you guys. You can see the process and the procedure of how it goes. It's a very stiff to cock bolt handle, so it's not as seamless as a 54 flipping with your index finger. I reference the 54 quite often because it's a standard. Everybody who knows target rifles has shot one of those. A gold standard, I should say. So, here we go. Shooting some spinners at 50, just for fun. Probably hear that this is high velocity because, believe it or not, one of this rifle's absolutely favorite ammunition is, of all things, CCI Blazer. I know. I actually have a few European target rifles there. One fell inside. I got to flick it out. A few European target rifles that seem to really like Blazer. And again, it's fine. Doesn't really bother me, obviously. However, it does shoot, certain Elys into much better groups, much more consistently with no flyers. But for the price, it's a wonderful shooting ammo in this rifle. There's another one. My rings are a little bit higher than I would like. I would like it as close as I could, but it helps with fishing it out. Try to get a close-up of that trigger for you here. So that's the first stage. I don't know if you can see that or not, but and then we'll have a little better look at the loading tray. I can't whip the bolt with one hand, sorry. Anyway, what a gem of a rifle, probably one of my all-time favorites, and just a joy to shoot. So if you ever come across one, do not hesitate. It is just a jewel to shoot. Beautifully crafted, beautifully finished. The experience is hard to explain, but the fit of this rifle for me is one of those rifles you can just shoot for hours, even in a single shot. It just performs group after group, trigger pull after trigger pull. Just a wonderfully shooting rifle. Thanks a lot.